Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Today is December 22nd, 2025. Good afternoon from Delaware, Lucy Mwangi, USA. Welcome to this live stream. It's a Monday afternoon here. It's about 12:36 Eastern Time. Welcome in as you join in the live stream. We are live on TikTok and we are live on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you are watching from. Welcome in. Today's live stream is about the DV 2027 or DV lottery in general being on pause. So we're just doing a quick follow-up live stream to see what questions you have and maybe to clarify a few things here and there. So as you join in, give me a thumbs up. Thank you guys for letting me know that you can hear me on YouTube. This is Harun Osman watching from Ghana. Thank you guys. Graphic News, thank you for verifying from Ghana. Frank Wamanya, you can hear me loud and clear from Uganda. Thank you guys for following this channel. Thumbs up on TikTok. Anthony Jenga. Diana, you got my appointment. Can I go to the embassy? I know you guys have a lot of questions. So we are going to try and break this pause down bit by bit. And also the travel ban. Lots of questions on TikTok, especially. Overwhelming number of questions on TikTok about what to do now. A lot of people are in limbo. People don't know what to do. People don't know who is affected and who is not. We just got the news on the 18th. I think that was when the pause was announced. I think I did a video there. If you haven't watched that video, it's both on TikTok and on YouTube. You can watch it to see the details. At that time, we didn't have a lot of information. We still don't have like a clear picture of what's going on. I just checked the travel.state.gov, which is the US Department of State website, official website. And I didn't see anything new as far as guidance on what to do. We do know a little bit about who's going to be affected and who's not going to be affected, going by the different roles of the two agencies. So USCIS and the Department of State have two different roles, and the ban and the pause affect different people on different levels. So today we're going to try and break that down and see whether it answers some of the questions that you guys have. Maurice, you're in Kenya. Thank you for watching. And Harun Osman, we have been waiting for you, but you are loud and clear. Okay. Thank you for waiting. I was trying to wait it out a little bit to see if I can gather a little bit of information so we can try and clear the air, or maybe at least put some people at ease. But like I said, I don't have like concrete information from the Department of State giving guidance on what to do. What I can do today is to talk about who is affected. We will do both. We'll do the pause and we'll do the travel ban. I know I did a video before about the countries that are now affected, all 39 countries now that are affected by the travel ban. At that time, the information was fresh. It had just been released. So today we're just going to slowly break down what that means for a lot of people. As you all know, the DV lottery is a program that was initiated by Congress, the United States. So if we have to cancel the diversity visa, it's not a presidential proclamation. It has to go through Congress. So I hope that makes people rest easy a little bit, because it's a long process to cancel their DV program. So besides that, the president can make the pause. He can order a pause, he can order the travel bans, and we'll talk about what the president can do and what he cannot do as far as the diversity visa program. A lot of people are now giving up, saying that diversity visa program is totally canceled, but it's on pause. We know that the 2027 DV lottery has been has been delayed. It was supposed to be almost it was supposed to be done by now. By now, we should have already done our entries. We should just be waiting for the winners to be announced in May. It's December 22nd, and the portal still has not opened. So as we continue to wait, we were waiting, we were hoping that, okay, maybe by December or end of December or maybe the beginning of January, the portal will be open. And then bam, we got the news that the whole diversity visa program is on pause. So right now, we don't know how long the pause is going to be, but we know some kind of a little information about who is going to be affected. So in this video, we are going to talk about who is affected, who is not affected, and what you guys need to do if you are in the process. All right. So here's what we know right now from credible news and official statements and announcements. The diversity visa program, often called the Green Card Lottery, has been paused by the Department of Homeland Security. We shared the tweet from the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, saying that from the direction of the president, she was ordering the USCIS and Homeland Security to pause the diversity visa program. And this was announced on December 18th, 2025, and it affects ongoing DV processing. What does that mean? It means that for winners who have not yet received a final green card or completed their interview, processing is paused or delayed. For people who already have their visas stamped already on the passport and have entered the US, generally past approvals remain valid. So if you already have a visa, then that is not going to be affected. But you need to consult trusted counsel if your status is still pending abroad. So, and also if you are under the travel ban. Remember, the travel ban was saying that it's effective January 1st of 2026. So you need to bear that in mind. If you don't have a visa stamped on your passport before January 1st of 2026, then you will have some issues if your country is under the travel ban. So the difference between the DV program and the travel ban is the travel ban prohibits people from entering the United States. Okay, so that is controlled by the president. He's the one that ordered that. He's the one that decides which countries are going to be banned, how long is the ban going to be, and etc. And so if your country is falling under the travel ban, USCIS and the Department of State, they have to carry out that proclamation. They have to carry out that kind of order from the president. So that's why it's almost effective immediately, or they give instructions for when the pause is going to start or the ban is going to be effective. So I hope we are clear up to that point as far as what is the role of USCIS and what is the role of the Department of State. So no official document has been released yet on the full terms of the pause, but we do know that USCIS is the one that does internally, like issuing of visas, adjustment of status for people who are already in the US. The Department of State handles issues, visas, and consulate, appointments for people who are abroad meaning out of the US. So if your process is outside the US, if your visa processing is outside the US, then the Department of State is the one that handles that. And so it gives direction to the consulates and the embassies on what to do, who to restrict, what visas to issue, stuff like that. So who is actually affected by DV 2026 or 2027 pause? So let's try and break it down. So let me do a disclaimer before I go on. This is not legal advice. These videos, as I always say, they are for information only. Make sure you're going to trusted sources like the government websites, the travel.state.gov, uscis.gov. You can also go to whitehouse.gov. You can go to see the proclamations by the president if you want to read step by step. They are also available under travel.state.gov under US visas. You can read about that. There's a section called US News, and I can show you that in a little bit. US visa news. So don't take this as legal advice. We're just discussing because there's nothing that has been issued right now to let us know what exactly are we doing. But this is what we know. Going by the roles of USCIS and the Department of State, the 2026 DV winners, they are in a waiting zone. So interviews of visa issuance may be on hold. So people who are selected for 2026 DV, those people, and they don't have a visa yet, and there's a pending interview, those people might witness more delays and longer waits for the visa to be issued. People already fully processed, they will likely be unaffected unless a new policy directions say otherwise. So people in my inbox are telling me that, oh, I got my visa last week. I already got a visa and I was planning to do my Christmas back home and then I'll come to the US in January. Most likely, if you already have a visa stamped, those people will not be affected by the pause. Right now, we are talking about the DV pause, and we'll move on to the travel ban in a little bit. So those people should just remain calm. I don't want to name names, but you guys know yourselves, the people in my inbox on TikTok. Remain calm if you already have a visa in your passport. If you are a visa holder, a DV, diversity visa holder, it's already in your possession. I don't think you need to worry about it. You just need to make sure you travel as soon as possible because, like I always say, every day the government comes up with new stuff and new proclamations and new policies. And if your goal is to come to the US, I would suggest that you do that as soon as possible because who knows what the next list is going to look like, right, guys? Who knows? You don't know what the list is going to look like. Just the other day, we had 19 countries under the travel ban. And before you know it, that was in June. I think on June 9th, that was when the proclamation was for the 19 countries, both the partial and the full travel ban. And then bam, in December, the list was almost doubled, or was it doubled? Almost 39 countries now under the ban. So if you already have a visa, my recommendation and my personal recommendation is that if it's money, just look for money if it's funds that you're lacking, look for ways of getting money to pay your way to here, like if you're for flights for your kids and for yourself if you have a family. Because like I said, you never know what's going to happen nowadays with the immigration. So DV 2027 applicants or, aspiring applicants, registration, we all know, has been delayed, but the government has not officially canceled DV 2027. And we will go over what that means for, between cancellation and putting the DV lottery on hold. Travel bans in eligible countries. A separate expanded travel ban covers many countries. Like I said, now it's 39 countries, which could impact work and travel outside of the DV program. A whole bunch of visa categories, mostly B1, B2, which are visitor visas, and also student visas are mostly affected, exchange programs, FMJ visas. So make sure you, and then immigrant visas, they are also in that category. So that means the DV is included, and family-based visas and other types of visas that allow you to come and live and work in the United States. But there are some waivers, so make sure you check to see whether you are qualified for that waiver. And that's why I'm saying, if you have a particular case and you're not sure, and this YouTube, TikTok information is not enough for you, then you should consult a professional immigration attorney to go over your case professionally. Okay, if these resources are not enough for your case. So many people are asking, what about the travel ban, and does it affect diversity visa? So right now, the expanded travel ban listed is 39 countries with full of partial entry restriction. The ban applies to visa issuance and entry if you are already outside the United States, not directly the DV law itself. So, but if someone is from a banned country, getting any US visa, including immigrant visas, can become more difficult in practice. So what you're saying is the countries which are under the full or partial travel ban, the umbrella of the visas included could also include immigrant visas, unless you have a waiver, like I said. So what do you do now? I know things feel uncertain right now. There is so much a panic. A lot of people are panicking about what to do, but this is what you can do. You can stay updated on official Department of State websites and USCIS announcements. They have pages on Facebook. I think USCIS has a page on Facebook that you can get, updates. You can also visit their official websites to make sure you're not missing out on any new apps updates. Also, stay off, obviously, keep up with my updates. Subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications. I try as much as possible to give you updates, but like I said, just take this as an update and not legal advice. Make sure you keep your documents ready, your passports, your DV confirmation pages, medicals, police checks. You can be doing those things because the DV program has not officially been canceled. And I know we are running a little bit tight on time. If you consider the timelines for DV lottery, by May, they're supposed to have already selected and start announcing the winners. We are already in December, so we have January, February, March, and April. So they have about 4 months to open the DV lottery portal, do all that $1 payment. And if they decide they want the passport, they need to figure that out and set up the system so people are able to go on there and do the payment, make the payment, and upload the passport biographic page if that's what they want to do this year for 2027. If not, just put systems in place so people all over the world are able to go in and make the payments for the $1 fee. So they have 4 months to get that done, unless they want to push the announcement of the winners to maybe a later time, maybe in June or July. But that means that people have just a short time to complete their DS-260 and then for the agencies to process the DS-260s and start setting up the interviews. Sometime back, I think it was last month, they announced that the DV-2027 processing will still start the same time that it starts, which is October 1st, 2026. to September 30th of 2027. So we'll see how that goes. Right now, it's up in the air. We don't know how long the pause is going to be. Make sure you avoid scams. There is no legitimate service that can guarantee outcome during a pause. And if you can, talk to a licensed immigration attorney for personalized guidance. So we'll go over your questions in a little bit, but let's quickly talk about some clarification of the different roles between USCIS and the DOS, the Department of State. Okay. USCIS handles immigration benefits inside the United States. For example, adjustment of status. Once you come to the US, if you won the DV lottery, so all that now changing your status from the visa to the green card and then citizenship later. So the Department of State does the previous things when you're back home. Like, for example, if you're in Kenya, they're the ones that make sure the program is set up, the DV program is set up, the winners are announced, and then the interviews are scheduled. Once you get to the US, now USCIS takes over issuing of adjustment of status visas and those other processes. The Department of State handles visas and consular processing outside of the United States. Neither USCIS nor DOS creates travel bans. They enforce policies made by the president and Congress. So, who creates a travel ban? The president creates these travel bans, like I mentioned earlier. They are issued by the president, usually through a presidential proclamation. And we've seen, since I started doing these videos, we've seen different proclamations, and I've shown you their proclamations. I can show you an example of that. If you go to whitehouse.gov, you can see the latest one. The latest is about the travel ban and adding the countries to be a total of 39 countries. So you can read this stuff. You can read it yourself. If you have time, you can just go over. This was on the 16th, restricting and limiting the entry of foreign nationals to protect the security of the United States. So the president is the one that issues the proclamations. And once he does that, USCIS and the Department of State have to follow through on what the proclamations say. So the next thing that you need to be aware of is that authority comes from Section 212F of the Immigration and Nationality Act. So the law allows the president to issue travel bans depending on whatever is going on in the country, the relationship between the US and those particular countries, or whatever threats that the US government feels is being projected to the US from those countries. So the president decides which countries are affected, whether the ban is full or partial, which visa categories are restricted or exempt. USCIS and the Department of State do not decide which countries are banned. They can only carry out the order. So I hope that we are clear about those two different roles. So as far as the Department of State, what do they do? The Department of State is responsible for everything related to visas outside of the United States. The DOS handles visa applications at US embassies and consulates, diversity visa program, selection process, scheduling of DV interviews, and that's the KCC, Kentucky Consular Center, and issuing immigrant and non-immigrant visas, applying travel bans to visa issuance. So once the travel ban is announced, the Department of State notifies different consulates and give them instructions on what to do. And that's why travel bans are so effective and almost immediate, because given the effective date. It can be immediate, or it can say, like, for example, the one that we are talking about, it's effective January 1st of 2026. So they also decide if a visa applicant qualifies for an exception or a waiver. So what about the relationship between the Department of State and the diversity visa program? The DV program is primarily a Department of State program. So DOS is responsible for running the annual DV lottery, selecting the winners, sending selection notifications, conducting consular interviews, issuing DV immigrant visas. So winning the DV lottery, obviously, we talked about this. It does not mean that you are approved for a visa. The Department of State will still determine eligibility and issue before issuing the visa, like, the country of eligibility, education, and other qualifications. So if your country is under the travel ban, what are the do's and don'ts? When a travel ban is announced, the Department of State updates the visa rules. So visa rules change. That's why it's good to stay updated. So consulates are instructed to stop issuing visas to affected countries if covered under the travel ban. They are also instructed to apply exemptions if allowed. They are instructed to hold or refuse cases if required by the proclamation. This is why people outside the US feel the impact first and hardest, because it's almost immediate once it's released, unless a definitive date is given. So USCIS, what do they do? USCIS handles immigration benefits for people already inside the US. So USCIS inside the United States, Department of State outside the United States. So they handle adjustment of status, green card processing inside the US, asylum applications, work permits, so employment documents, authorization documents, family petitions, naturalization, that is citizenship process, the N-400 processing, and all that. Some DV cases only if the person is already in the United States. So let's say, for example, I came in with a F1 visa, and I was also playing the lottery during that time, and I win the lottery. I don't have to go back to my home country. So my case now will be handled by USCIS, because I'm changing from F1 visa holder to an immigrant visa, which is the diversity visa. And I'll do my application here. I'll do my fees. I'll pay my fees. I'll go for biometrics, medicals. I'll do them here under the guidance of USCIS. So what is the relationship between USCIS and the diversity visa program? So USCIS is only involved if a diversity winner is already in the US, as I just said, legally, not illegally, legally. They apply for adjustment of status instead of consular processing. Even then, USCIS must still follow annual DV visa limits. So they still have to follow the DV year, from October 1st to September 30th of that, whatever year that is. Deadlines are September 30th of the fiscal year, and travel ban rules are still applicable, and USCIS must follow those rules. USCIS cannot approve a diversity visa green card if the visa number is unavailable or the program is paused by higher authority. So they still have to follow the visa bulletin. Excuse me, your case still have to be current under the visa bulletin, which is under travel.state.gov, which is the Department of State, US Department of State official website. So USCIS does not create travel bans. It does not decide which countries are banned. It must enforce the ban if it applies to adjustment of status and certain immigration benefits. However, travel bans mostly affect entry and visa issuance, so USCIS impact is usually secondary, it's not the primary impact. You don't feel it as hard as the people who are already outside the US. So let's talk about Congress and its role in the diversity visa program. Congress' role is silent, but it's an important player because Congress created the diversity visa program by law. So that was back, I think, in 1990. So it sets the number of DV cases visa each year. So it's average of 50,000, 55,000 around and about each year. And it's divided into 6 regions, and each region cannot have a certain percentage over a certain percentage. And it's also affected by the travel ban. So the travel ban would affect the number of people that will come into the US under the DV. A DV pause is not the same as cancellation. Cancellation requires an act of Congress. So it can be paused for I don't know how long, but it cannot be canceled just like that. So they'll have to go through Congress to get it approved and then finally signed by the president. So who ordered the DV pause? The executive branch via the Department of Homeland Security direction ordered a pause. And then the Department of State and USCIS must comply with that. Neither agency can restart the program on their own. The pause either has to be lifted, modified, extended by the authority that initiated the pause, which is the president. The simple way to remember for you guys is the Department of State is outside the US processing visas, and the embassies, the US embassies outside the US, and DV lottery interviews. USCIS handles processing of cases inside the US, green cards, and adjustment of status. The president can issue travel bans and pauses, and Congress can create or end immigration programs. So I know this waiting period is painful, it's stressful, it's confusing for a lot of people. What is happening right now is not because you did anything wrong or your country did something wrong. This is a policy pause, it's not a cancellation. The agencies are waiting for direction, so make sure you stay informed, avoid panic, avoid scams. Don't pay people who are saying that they will help you come to the US even if your country is under the travel ban. Prepare your documents. Your job right now is to stay ready. So let me know if you guys have any questions. So that was just like a rundown of who is affected and who is not affected. If you want a rundown of the 39 countries that are under the travel ban, like I said, you can read that proclamation by the president. You can also go to, let me see, you can also read this right here from the US Department of State. And travel.state.gov, dated December 19th, 2025, suspension of visa issuance to foreign nationals to protect the security of the United States. And so it talks about the proclamation, blah, 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 and it says it's effective January 1st, 2026, in line with the presidential proclamation on restricting and limiting the entry of foreign nationals to protect the security of the United States. So you can read that. And like I said, always go to this official website. All right. I've been talking a lot for about 34 minutes. I hope you guys have a clear understanding of what this means now and what you can do. The biggest thing is to remain calm and to wait to see what they're going to tell us. All right. On TikTok, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for sharing the live. Please double tap Double tap this screen so that TikTok can share this live with other people. How is it affecting 2026? I already answered that question. So if you go back to the video when it's uploaded on YouTube, you will see the replay. And I already talked about who is affected and who is not affected. If you already have a visa stamped on your passport, then you should not worry about it. The travel ban does not affect people who already have a visa issued before January 1st, 2026. So once again, if you already have a visa, please don't delay. Just come, make travel arrangements and travel, travel arrangements to come here. Has DOS released their official update on the DV pause like USCIS? No, I was looking for that and I did not see. The latest thing that I saw about that was the travel ban that I just shared. I was looking to see if there's any update about the about the pause, but I don't have any official word from the Department of State. All right, let me go up here. That question was from Grip Girl on TikTok. Thank you for following and thank you for sharing the live. Also on YouTube, please share the live. Share it to your WhatsApp groups or your Facebook group so that people can join in. Nyambura Mungai, what of us who did interviews on Thursday, but we have not received our passports? So hoping that you will have your visa issued before January 1st. That is, but that's related to the travel ban. But as far as the pause, I don't know what they're going to. That's why I'm saying let's wait for the Department of State because they are the ones that instruct the consulars and the embassies what to do. So is this going to be an immediate pause for everybody who already got a visa? Or when is this effective? Like there's no guidance about what we are doing. People are just in limbo, waiting to see what's going on. I would still continue if I have a visa interview scheduled. I will still go and attend my visa interview. If I have a visa issuing pending, so I'm waiting for them to return my passport. But my question is, if you went for the interview on Thursday and today is Monday, so that means in a few days you should be receiving your visa, because if they kept your passport, it's because you got the visa, right? You passed the interview. So I would just wait, follow up this week to see if you're going to get your passport back with the visa and travel to the US as soon as you can. Keep us posted. Let us know what happens. Victor Igebu on TikTok. Good evening. I have my interview date January 2026. I'm in Nigeria with the ban. What date? Because what they're saying is you are only excluded if you have like special waivers or if you can travel using a different passport that does not have that is not under the travel ban. And then if you got your visa before January 1st. So those are the regulations right now. Paulette Kamau, I like your advice. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, kama uko na visa, kuja. If you have a visa, come to the US ASAP because you never know when or how things are going to change. Let me see some questions on YouTube. Hello, will DV pause affect DV 2027? DV 2027 is already late. And so we are waiting for instruction to see how long the pause is going to be. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to affect DV 2027. I have a feeling it's going to affect, But as far as how it's going to affect, I am not very sure. Maurice, we just want to say thank you for a very wonderful presentation about DV lottery. Indeed, you have motivated many. Thanks very much. Thank you, Maurice. Thank you for that. That's very kind. What will happen for already issued visas and not travel to US? For which people? For the pause or for the travel ban? I think either way, if you already have a visa, then I feel like you should be okay. But like I said, if you have a visa, don't delay too much. Travel to the US so you can activate your green card, because you cannot activate your green card until you come here. And if you have a green card, you are way more protected than if you have just a visa. All right, guys. So if you have a visa, kuja, come. Share the live, guys. Share the live. Share the live. Tufikishe 5K likes on TikTok. All right, let's get to 5K likes on TikTok. Thank you for sharing. Let's see. Graphic news. We hope the pause is lifted soon. DV lottery is not free because we pay for processing fees and not all selectees even get the visa approval. That is true. That is true, and that's a good point, because it's not like we or you guys get these visas for free. There's a lot of money involved in the processing of whatever category of visa. There's no visa that is free. So people are paying. So if the travel ban or the pause lasts for however long, people are losing money. People, it's not easy to come up with thousands and hundreds of dollars, especially if you are from, countries, not even countries. People don't have that kind of money just to waste. If you've already been selected, I feel like if you've already been selected, uh, the lottery itself promises that if you comply with the eligibility requirements, you follow the processes, you pay the amount that is required, and you keep up with the deadlines, then ultimately you're going to be invited for a visa interview. And if you pass the visa interview and qualify for the visa and pay the fees, then the promise is that you're going to come to the United States under the diversity visa, after which you can change to a green card. So it's not cheap to come to the United States. It's emotionally draining. It's a lot of like unknown. Things are not clear right now. So people's mental status is being affected as well. So it's not a fair thing, but we just have to stay updated and make sure we are following with whatever they're saying that you guys should do. I feel your pain, especially for countries under the travel ban. I feel your pain, guys. I do. What do you think about DV 2026 winning? Will it be affected? Yeah, we just went over that if you have a visa already, and you are from a country that is under the travel ban, and the visa was issued prior to January 2026, then you should be okay. If you are a diversity visa winner, I mean a DV lottery winner, we are waiting for guidance to see, is this thing immediate? When is it effective? And how is it going to affect the millions of people who are just waiting to see what happens? So please stay informed and stay updated. On TikTok, what questions do you guys have? Let me see. So if you are currently in the US and want the DV, is going to be your chance. So if you are in the US, and that's why we were saying the different roles between the Department of State and USCIS. If you are in the US and you won the DV lottery, the processing might be slow, but that's handled by the USCIS. So if you're already here, processing here might be delayed or slow. So that has nothing now to do with the Department of State. Question from Graphic News. We hope the pause is lifted soon. DV lottery is not free. Yeah, we said that. It is not free. My country, Harun Osman. My country, part of the ban countries, and would the DV 2027 come again because some of us just lose hope? Don't lose hope because it hasn't been cancelled. There's no official word saying that the DV lottery has been cancelled. If it's going to happen this year, it's going to be rushed. And that's the reason why I was saying make sure you have your things ready because things are going to be quick. The deadlines are going to be short. The time for the deadlines is going to be short. There's no time to fool around. Make sure you have your photo. Make sure you have that $1 ready and make sure you have your documents because the time between the selection and the submitting of DS-260 and all that is going to be short. So be ready so you don't have to get ready. We have been waiting. Okay, so thank you guys for the questions on YouTube. Let me see this one. DV 2027 instructions will be published tomorrow. Okay, do you have any source saying that? But I'll check anyway. We'll check. I check them every day. So if it's published tomorrow, I'll try and sneak and give an update, but we'll see. Right now, there's no, I just went to the website and there's no instructions right now about DV 2027. All we know is that it's on pause, but we don't know how long. The pause is because the US government wants to do like comprehensive reviews of this vetting and security processes involving immigration. So that's why the ban and the pause are in effect. Okay. Let's see if you have any other questions. Any update for the suspension of the DV? Yeah, that's why we're doing this live stream to try and answer some of those questions. There's no official update from the Department of State. There's no guidance of how long the ban is and when the ban is effective, who is affected, do people that already have a visa, are they going to be affected? I highly doubt, because if you already have a visa stamped on your passport, then you should be able to come in as long as you're not from a travel ban country and the visa was issued prior to January 1st of 2025. 26, sorry. Somebody said they got the appointment. What do they do? You should still go for the visa interview. Is it soon? How long will it take for the pause to end? Question from Marsh Frey. I don't have the answer to that. If DOS has not put any press release on the DV pause for where does this leave DV 2026 winners? Good question. Yeah, there's no clarification. That's what we are waiting for. I'm hoping that during this week we'll get some sort of notification or some kind of a press release from the Department of State giving us guidance on what to do and who is affected. And if that gets published, then I'll share with you guys. Or you can keep checking travel.state.gov to see if there is any new information as far as that. What would happen to those who their 260 cases have been processed? So depending on if their case number was current and they were like waiting to get their second notification letter, those people will experience delays And if they are from travel ban countries, and even if they get the visa, they will not be allowed entry into the United States. But the thing is, unless they have special waivers and special circumstances, I always say that it's not everybody that is covered under the travel ban. There are people who qualify for special waivers. For example, if you are an athlete, if you are holding some national interest for the US, and things like that. There are some waivers that people qualify for, or you have a passport from a country that is not banned. So the deadline or the effective date for the ban is January 1st, 2026. Anybody who got a visa issued prior to that, according to the proclamation, they can come in. They can come into the US, and even if their country is under the travel ban. The travel ban does not affect people who have already been issued with a green card, or US citizens by naturalization, or like I said, if you have another passport from a non-banned country. Trying is better than staying behind. Will it affect 2027 2026 DV winners? My country is not under travel ban, but I got the visa stamped, though not yet traveled. Am I affected? Which country? You shouldn't. You should be okay to travel. What is the current cutoff case number for DV 2026 in the African region? Someone help me, please. The visa bulletin, we did a video the other day. The visa bulletin is out, and I believe the what do you call it? Current case number for Africa is below 45,000. But what do you, you wonder what use is that now if the visa whatever is on pause? You wonder what use that is now. You know what I mean? Because now the diversity visa program is on pause. We were happy because the visa bulletin was moving up quickly. It moved from 17,500 to 3,500, and then it moved from that to 45,000. I mean, not 100. Let me share this so you can see what I'm talking about. On TikTok, I'm sharing the visa bulletin for January so that you guys can see what I mean. But my thing is, even if the visa bulletin is moving on swiftly, there's no point, because right now the whole program is on pause. But let's keep hope alive. As you can see down here, for the diversity visa, it jumped from 35,000 to 45,000 for the Africa region. So for those of you who are asking what is the cutoff case number for DV 2026 in the African region, it is 45,000. So anybody, technically, if there wasn't a pause, anybody whose case number was 45,000 below 45,000 would have been current. So that means they will be eligible to go for a visa interview. There's a visa available for them. Okay. Tuka says, I don't think it will continue in Trump rule because they are using the national safety scenario. Yeah, so once they say national security risk, then they can use that to impose a ban or a pause on these immigration programs. All right, let's see. Somebody say, I knew this was unusual. Anthony said, I did my visa interview 4 days ago. Neck had not arrived in embassy, left passport. Do I still have a chance? Yeah, just follow up with the embassy. Follow up with the embassy. If you already did an interview, um, just keep following up. Let us know what happened. Follow up this week and see. Did our interview last week, so worried if we will receive visas. Blessed. Were you approved? Was your visa approved, or what was the outcome? What was the outcome? What about faith in spouse faith in banned country? What do you mean? Okay. Watching from Zambia, watching from Ethiopia. Can I inbox, please? Yeah, you can send me a question on your inbox. You can give me information. Guys, let me know what's going on with your embassies in different countries. If you're from a travel banned country, I feel I'm empathetic with the situation. I feel bad for everybody who's now under the travel ban who won the diversity visa program. I hope it will be lifted soon. From Ethiopia, thank you for watching. From Dubai, Ufiasi, thank you for watching. Diana, Anthony, thank you guys for watching. From Kenya, Siokimau, Pauline, thank you for watching. From Ghana, DJ and DJ A AYH. How do you read that? From Kenya, MUE. Charles Kareithi from Kenya. Thank you guys for being here this afternoon. So let me see if you guys have any questions. Somebody's asking, how often do you live stream? This is great. Love. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I am a registered nurse by profession, so I work 12 hours shifts. I do have some days off in between. I try to come on live as much as possible. This is something that I love to do. I love to share immigration updates. I love to get information, do research, and then relay the information to you guys because I believe that information is very powerful. It's good to know about immigration. A lot of people come to the US blindly. I was one of them. So I use these platforms as, giving back. It's like, I don't know, paying forward. So I try to gather as much as information as I can, and I share that information with you guys. So thank you for supporting me over these 2 years that I've done YouTube and TikTok. I appreciate you being here. Yes, hello, Eric. How are you? All right. Can I inbox? Yes, you can. All right, let's see down here. It says I have 99 new messages. Oh, wow. Okay, thank you for sharing the live. Can we get to 10K on TikTok? That would be great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the live. See, you guys shared, you got me to 5K, and then now more people have joined. This information is important, especially at this time, because many people are just worried. Many people are just worried about what's going on with their immigration cases. So I appreciate you sharing and liking the live. Okay, let me see if I can see any other questions on TikTok. Just people asking about Kenywa Kevin, wenye tuko na visa tuharakishe, si ndio? Hebu mwache kulalia masikio. If you have a visa, come on to the US. If you have a visa, make arrangements and travel. Somebody says, I'm from Cameroon. All this while, Cameroon had not yet started interview for DV-2026. Just when I was getting frustrated, this pause came. I just pray they can resume. Yes, that's the frustration because some embassies were not even performing very well. They were not even issuing 2NLs yet, and then boom, there's a travel ban, and then there's a pause. A lot of the countries affected by the travel ban are African countries. And I was looking at the statistics or the data from the immigration from the DV-2026. Some of the countries that are affected have so many 2026 visa DV selectees. So you can imagine the impact. So, for example, if we just take random countries, Somalia had 1,554 selectees for 2026 DV. What other African country? Libya, 276. Sudan, 5,226. Burundi, 1,616. Sierra Leone, 639 people were selected for the diversity visa 2026. And so many countries, most of them from the African region. Angola had 743 selectees. So those people have, are experiencing some emotional turmoil because they don't know their fate. They don't know what's going to happen, because you can imagine how overjoyed you get once you are selected, right? People who are DV winners, you know the feeling. I did not come with the DV, but I've interviewed a lot of people who came through the DV. The excitement of being approved for a visa, whatever kind of visa, to come to the United States, and then you cannot come in because of a travel ban. That's bound to mess with your head, and is not fair. And then the Gambia had 198 winners. Nigeria was not eligible for DV 2026, so obviously it didn't have any winners. Tanzania, our neighbors. Do you guys say Tanzania or Tanzania? Either way, Tanzania had 404 winners of DV 2026. Tonga is on Oceania region, had 100. Zambia had 236. Zimbabwe had 326. So you can see that a lot of people affected by this. TikTok, please double tap the screen. Otherwise, you guys are going to be dropped and you'll have to join us on, I just got that warning. So please double tap the screen on TikTok so we don't get dropped. Unless you guys don't have any other questions, and in that case, we can just end the live. In case number 17,500, do I still have hope to go to US? So is that Nairobi? So right now I can say anything about the processing of the diversity visa because it's on pause by presidential proclamation. So we just have to wait. It's not a proclamation, but it's the presidential direction that the DV lottery is on pause. The Department of Homeland Security issued that direction. So we have to wait and see. On TikTok, let me see if you have any other questions on TikTok. All right. How many got in Uganda? Uganda is not under the travel ban, but if you wanted to look at the number of people who won the DV lottery, you can go to travel.state.gov, and under the visa bulletin, you can see how many people from each country got I think Kenya was like 3,000 people. But Kenya is not under the travel ban. It's just we are all countries are under the pause. So all countries are affected by the pause. Hopefully, the pause won't be permanent. Hopefully, they can announce the entry period for 2027 DV. and they can continue the processing of the 2026 DV winners. So I have my fingers crossed. I'm praying for you guys. I know this is very stressful for people who follow me on TikTok and on YouTube. I hope that we have a better outcome because getting an opportunity to come to the US for a lot of people is life changing. And I know there are people who are haters talking about the US is not all that anymore. But I feel like sometimes life is what you make it. So if you're given an opportunity to come to the US and you feel like it can change your life, then by all means, come to the United States. If it's not your cup of tea and you feel like the US is the worst place for you, then don't come. I mean, there's nobody forcing anybody to come to the United States, but lots of opportunities despite everything that is going on immigration wise. If people are here legally, if you're here legally and you're following the law, you should be okay. Just come to the US and do what you gotta do, build your family, build your money, whatever you need to do, go to school and live your life. All right. So I feel you guys' pain. I empathize with you. I pray that this doesn't last forever. I wish you guys all the best as you continue to wait for updates and guidelines on what to do. All right. Please, is there any hope for DV lottery for the 2027 fiscal year? I hope so, because there's no proclamation that says DV has been cancelled. So we are waiting. And it can't even be a proclamation. It has to be an act of Congress. So we are waiting to see that. We are waiting to hear that. And if they're going to cancel it, I don't think they can just cancel it within months, because Congress has to they are the ones that introduced the program. So they are the only ones that can repeal, change it, or amend it, or whatever, or cancel it. Can a lawsuit be filed to compel Trump to conduct 2026 interviews? Lawsuits have been filed before. If you guys follow Britt Simon, he does a lot of immigration DV lottery videos. So I know lawsuits have been filed before, and the government has been forced to do things because whatever they were doing was not constitutional. So that can happen as well. I wonder why Cameroon is slow in processing. I don't know why. Maybe they don't have enough staff, or maybe something else is going on at their consulate. Double tap the screen on TikTok. Please get me to 10K likes. Please tap on the screen. I'll give you 3 seconds to please tap on the screen so we don't get dropped on TikTok. TikTok is TikTok wants you to keep tapping on the screen. It's not like YouTube. YouTube, you don't have to keep tapping on the screen. You just need to share the live and like so that it can share it with other people. Okay. So I went over all the way up. I didn't see any new questions, but let me see. If you're just joining in, I appreciate you being here. Today, we were just doing a follow-up video because the diversity visa program is currently on pause. We have countries added on the travel ban, both full and partial ban. For a complete list of the travel banned countries, you can go to travel.state.gov, or you can read the proclamation by the president under whitehouse.gov, or you can watch my videos on YouTube and on TikTok. But the way it looks right now, under the travel ban, total travel ban, Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen, those were initially on the 19 country, the initial one that was issued in June. And then 5 more countries were added to the travel ban. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, South Sudan, and Syria. Also advanced from partial ban to full ban was Sierra Leone and Laos. I don't know if you say Laos or Laos, but those were added or were elevated from partial ban to full ban. And then anybody holding Palestinian Authority documents, those ones were also added to the full travel ban. So under the partial ban, initially we had 7 countries that were under the partial ban. Those countries were Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, Venezuela. But like I said, Laos and Sierra Leone were elevated now to full ban. So an additional 15 countries were added to the partial travel ban. Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, which is also Ivory Coast. Some people forget that that's the same. Dominica, Gabon, the Gambia, Malawi, Mauritania, Nigeria, Senegal, Tanzania, Tonga, Zambia, Zimbabwe. So countries are now 39 in total under the travel ban. This is effective January 1st of 2026. Bear in mind that if you already have a visa issued, then prior to January 2026, then you are safe to come in if you are a US green card holder, if you are a naturalized citizen, and you have a dual passports, or if you have a passport that is not from a travel banned country, then you should be okay. Immigrant visas are affected, so that means DV, family-based visas, and other immigrant visas are affected. And then non-immigrant visas are also affected, mostly B1, B2 visas, F, M, and J visas, which are mostly student and exchange student visas, okay? So that's what we were talking about. We also talked about is DV-2026 paused? Yeah, the whole diversity visa program is on pause. The whole diversity visa program is on pause. TikTok, we only need 100 likes to get to 10,000 likes. I appreciate you tapping on the screen. Thank you. Thank you very much for helping me with that. We are now at 10K likes. I appreciate you. All right. Can a lawsuit be filed to force to conduct 2026 interview? Yeah, we answered that question on YouTube. Please, is there any hope for the DV lottery for 2027 fiscal year? We are waiting for updates. Does anyone today got visa? Does he or she got okay at the interview in Kenya? There are some people on this live stream that have already stated they went for interview. One person said they went on Thursday last week. One person said they're waiting for the visa to be stamped and their passport to be issued back. So yes, people apparently are still going for interviews and they're still getting their visa issued. So unless you are from a travel banned country, then you'll have some issues after January 1st, 2026, unless you already have a visa. Okay. All right. People frustrated about the ban and the pause. Yes, I can understand that. But the bulletin is still coming out. Why? Because if you watch the video from the beginning, we explained the relationship between the Department of State and the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS. Those two agencies play different roles. The diversity visa program is run by the Department of State. If you go to travel.state.gov, that's where all that information is. So yes, they will continue running the visa bulletin. Why? Because it's not every country that is under the travel ban. There are people who have documents that can allow them to come to the US because they are not under the travel ban. There are people who have waivers. So even if the program is technically on pause, the Department of State is still doing the work that they're supposed to be doing in the background. Okay. So, and the pause is not going to be permanent. I hope not. And they cannot cancel the diversity visa program unless Congress decides to do that, and that takes a while to do. Somebody is verifying that people got visas today in Nairobi. Yeah, people are still getting their visas. So I'm hoping that this week, somewhere this week, that the Department of State will issue a statement or guidance or instructions or, recommendations or some kind of something to let us know how to proceed with DV 2026, because there are so many people involved. So people are just worried about what to do next. They don't know if they should travel or they should not travel. They don't know if they should continue um, moving forward with their visa interviews if they are scheduled. They don't know if they are still going to get their 2NLs. Lots of questions up in the air. At Oceania, were there interviews being conducted today in Nairobi? Yes, somebody said yes. Yes, Ocean. Somebody said yes, interviews are being conducted. DV case number 25,500. When am I likely to do the interview? So now with the pause, I'm not sure, and you didn't tell me your region or your embassy. But if you're in Africa, the visa bulletin is saying that for cases below 45,000, then you should be getting a second notification letter. But the twist now comes with the pause. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on with the pause and how long is going to take. And when we are going to enter the DV 2027. Okay. YouTube, you guys have any more questions? So once this video is uploaded on YouTube, you can do the replay. And we had a presentation of the different roles of these two agencies, the Department of State and the USCIS, and how they affect the travel ban and how they affect the diversity visa program. My case number is now current. Will I be able to receive 2NL? So processing is on hold right now. So processing is on hold right now. So like I said, let's just wait to see who exactly needs to move forward and who needs to. We are not giving up. We are not giving up, but we just need like concrete information and guidance from the Department of State, because they are the ones that run the diversity visa program, but they still have to follow the proclamation or the instructions from the president if he put a ban on some countries or if he paused any immigration programs. The diversity visa is one of those immigration programs that was set forth by Congress back in the 90s. So he has authority under 212F of the Immigration and Nationality Act to pause or to impose travel bans, or depending on what's going on in the country. So we're just going to wait and see what happens. So they have to follow, USCIS and the Department of State have to follow the instructions, and then they have to carry out that presidential order to carry through the pause or the travel ban. Somebody said, I received 2NL for January and then my country got partially banned. Oh, wow. See, that's sad. That's sad because people were anxiously waiting for their 2NLs, and then you get your second notification letter and now your country gets banned. So I really feel your pain with that. Case number is too slow in Ethiopia, still at 5,200K. Uh, that's sad. These interviews, okay. Would you know what case number got an interview today at Nairobi? By the way, Nairobi Embassy, what case numbers were those? Do you have an idea of what case number uh, got their interviews today at Nairobi Embassy or last Thursday? Yeah, people are asking what is the case number on TikTok for the people who received their interviews today. Okay. What if you have been issued a visa? Will you be allowed to enter state at the port of entry in January? You should be. You should be allowed to enter if you already have a visa. And once again, this is not immigration legal advice. These videos are for information and education only. If you have a specific concerning immigration case, please consult with a professional immigration attorney so they can look at your case like on one-on-one. All right. All right. YouTube, you guys don't have any other questions. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys for getting me to 11,000 likes on TikTok. That helps me a lot because TikTok then shares the video and pushes the video to other people. Somebody says they're in Nairobi. Thank you for the gifts, guys. Thank you. I appreciate. All right. I'm just checking to make sure that I don't have any new questions. Do I have a clue about Cameroon? I don't have information about specific performance by different embassies, but hopefully in January we'll get an updated list of how the embassies are performing so far. Somebody wants me to start speculating. How do you think the pause could take more than 4 to 5 months? I don't know how long the pause is going to be. I just know that the longer it takes, the more significant effect it's going to have on DV 2027. May God help us all. DV 2026 winners affect the pause. Will be affected by the pause. I'm pretty sure they will be affected by the pause. I'm just not sure how. I know for DV 2025, even if it's completed and done with, people who are here on who've already received their green card or who have not yet received their green card, if you just recently came in and you're trying to process your green card, because of the pause, that might be delayed, or anybody else who's processing their paperwork that is related to the DV. So that means if you're trying to move forward to citizenship, any kind of adjustment of status is going to be affected by the pause and the travel ban as well. Is there a waiver for partial ban for immigrant visas? Yes, there's some waivers. Like I said, it doesn't cover everybody. If you are from a travel ban country, either partial or full ban, and you have a passport from another country that is not under the travel ban, or you got your visa before January 1st of 2026, or you serving the national interest of the US by however position, maybe an athlete or however you're serving the US, then you can get partial, like a waiver. Does 2026 pause DV affect Nepal? It affects the whole program. It affects all the 6 regions that are covered by the diversity visa. Thank you guys for liking the live. Thank you guys for liking the live. Stopper, thank you for joining. You're late. We've been talking for almost 1.5 hours. But if you want to get the information about what we talked about after the YouTube video is uploaded, you can go there and replay the video. Not status, the winner's waiting process of interview or visa, can that affect the pause? Yes. People who are waiting and they have not received a visa, the processing will be affected by the pause. So, like I said, this week I'm hoping that we'll get notifications from the Department of State and guidance on how to proceed. But the pause affects people who are waiting to process their visas. Yes, stop. Stop, you're late. Stopper, do you have any questions while we are live? I know you've been asking me some questions. Or do you have anything to share about the process? Okay. All right, let me see. All right, I don't see any other questions today. We talked about a follow-up after the diversity visa program was paused by the president. And we also talked about the travel ban. We discussed the difference between the Department of State and USCIS and how they play different roles when it comes to the travel ban and when it comes to the pause, the diversity visa pause. And we answered a lot of your questions. I hope this helps. I hope this live stream helped today. If it did, please share, give it a like, and let me know. Daniel Mooley, how are you? You guys are late today. Are you joining all late? Please turn on your notification so that when I go live, you can be notified so you're not joining 1 hour later. Hi, Lucy. It's very unfortunate. I already had the passport photos since September. Now 6 months are almost over. Take another one. Take another one. It's not over until it's over. It's not over until it's over. Until they announce that it's canceled officially and they put like a whole notice on their official government websites, it's not over until it's over. Okay. What number are they in Kenya? Yeah, guys, what number are they issuing visas in Kenya? 2NLs. Case number is 29K 2026 DV lottery. Do you think there is any chance? That is a current case number because any numbers on the African region and 45,000 is current. So it's current, but now there's a pause on immigration diversity visa. So we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. Is there hope? Yeah, there's always hope. If you don't have hope, what else do we have? Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. These things don't last forever. So what is the latest case number? What is the highest case number? Those guys that are saying that you guys received your visas or you were called for an interview at Nairobi Embassy. Do you mind letting us know what case number? Roughly, you don't have to be exact. What case numbers is current? Ocean, can you let us know what case number? How about 2026 interview? Okay. I was given 221G letter in Nairobi embassy. How long should I wait for response? It depends on the reason why you were given 221G, which is administrative processing. So they need something from you. Something is not complete. They did not have enough justification to issue you a visa. So there has to be a reason. Were you told why? Is there a document that they need? Is there some verification that they need? Depending on what you they need from you, I cannot give you like an answer. It can take however it takes. What about those people who have visa already? Will they be affected by the pause? So my advice, stopper, you are late. But my advice was, if you already have a visa, please travel to the US as soon as you can, as soon as humanly possible for you. Try to travel to the US as soon as possible, because before you know it, something else is going to come up, going by history and going by what's going on in 2025. So if you already have a visa, congratulations for going through that whole process. You still have a few more steps. You still need to travel to the US and activate your green card. You still have to answer those questions at the port of entry, because like we keep saying, getting a visa does not guarantee entry to the US. The Customs and Border Protection officers, they have the right to allow you entry or to deny you entry. So make sure you're still following, you're being cautious, you're still following your requirements and everything that you need to do until you get into the US. Once you get into the US, then you can activate your green card and your privileges become a little bit better and more than just being a visa holder. Okay, so as soon as you guys can travel, if you have a visa, please do that. Mugeshi saying in Nairobi they issued 2NLs up to 10K. Okay, that's not terrible, but I wish this ban wasn't there, you know? We could be moving faster, because the visa bulletin is really moving fast. So the visa bulletin is in our favor, but the government is not in our favor. So now we have good news, and then bam, we had bad news. So hopefully this is not going to last forever. Hopefully it's just a temporary pause, and they can get their act together, whatever they need to streamline as far as this comprehensive review they're saying they need to do for vetting and security purposes. Then I hope that they can do that quickly and just release the DV, lift the pause. The reason was my medical report was sent to the embassy after my interview. Okay, so that's not too bad. So once they review that, excuse me, guys, my throat. Once they review that, then if everything checks out, then they should be able to issue you with a visa, since you already had the interview, unless something changes, unless they get instructions from the Department of State saying that all visa issuance should be stopped, which I haven't got that information. Will the 2026 DV selectees receive their 2NLs case number 11,500? Okay, so that's a current case number. But which country? Which country are you? Yeah, people who won, it's very unlucky for them. It's unfortunate. 2026 winners, my case number is around 8K. From Nepal. Can I get a visa? So we don't know. We don't know. If you haven't already attended your interview and if you already haven't received your visa, then I don't know. I don't know what the instructions are going to be from the Department of State. I don't know whether they are going to say automatically stop issuing any more visas. In that case, then anybody who has not received their visa will not be getting their visa anytime soon until the pause is lifted. How much impact has this ban had on 2027? So the ban affects the 2027 DV. Why? Because part of the visas that are affected are immigrant visas, and DV lottery is one of the immigrant visas. So countries who are before they are eligible to enter the DV program, but now because of the ban, even if they get the visa, they cannot enter into the US. So that's how it's going to affect the diversity visa. If we ever get to open the portal, because right now the portal is still closed, it's not open, and the whole diversity visa program is on pause. So will they open like next year or after years? I don't know. I don't know. What about asylum cases? So asylum cases are not affected by the travel ban. So if we go, if you're already in the US, by the way, if you're already in the US, you are affected differently than the people who are not in the US. So let's say, for example, I'm from a travel banned country, but I'm already in the US and I have a green card. So in that case, I am not affected by the ban. I can still move around from here to my country. All right. All right, Kenya. Do you think the visa bulletin is going to move forward? Yes. My mom, I-130 case has been denied by USCIS today. She's in Mali. Wow. What did they say? What did they say about because of the travel ban? Because Mali is under the total ban. What about B1, B2 visa? What about it? The suspension can affect the winners of DV 2026. Yes. Yes, because depending on what instructions these consulates and embassies get from the Department of State, then they have to follow those instructions. If they say nobody is allowed entry effective a certain date, then they have to follow that. So right now, the only date that we have is for the travel ban, and that was January 1st of 2026. Anybody who has a visa issued before that is allowed to enter. But for the diversity visa pause, we don't know how long it's going to be. We don't know, is it immediate? Like we don't know. As soon as I get any more updates, I will let you guys know. I'm sure this has already been discussed. Is all hopes gone for 2026? Yes, for those people who are just coming in, come in and share the live and double tap the screen on TikTok, please. And thank you. Yes, we've talked about a lot. We've been here for an hour, almost 40 minutes. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to get off the live. If you want to get the whole video, you can go on YouTube after it's uploaded and just watch and see what else we talked about. A lot of information today on this video. So thank you guys for watching and being here. I wish you a great week. If I get any more updates within the week, I will post it either on TikTok, on YouTube, or both, and I will keep you guys updated. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, TikTok.